Good morning. So this is a practice session this morning, and it's a nice cool morning. Living in the southeast, we've gone from 80 degrees tail end of last week to 39 degrees this morning, and a nice breeze. Got some wind gusts moving from right to left. So this morning I am shooting at 50 yards. I'm fortunate that my property allows me to shoot at that distance, assuming I shoot diagonally across it. So this is something kind of new. I generally try to practice like this at least 3 times a week, generally speaking somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes each time. Now this time is a little bit different. Normally I like to place myself or position myself at different distances from the target. That way I can range the target and simulate what I do in competition. But this morning I decided I was going to work at 50 yards. The main reason for that is the wind. It's a good idea to shoot in the conditions that you expect to compete in. And in this case with the wind, what I wanted to do was work on my windage, basically, holding for windage. So in this case, I'm aiming a little to the right to compensate for that right to left wind that we're getting. Now you'll notice as we go through this, I'm using all the same gear that I would normally use in competition. I think that's really important. You'll also notice that I close my eyes here, and what I'm doing basically is verifying my position. So when you get into position, a lot of times you're using muscles and things of that nature to hold yourself on target, and what will happen over time as you fatigue is your aim will stray from where you initially set up your shot. So by closing your eyes, basically, your muscles kind of relax and you can look and see where your scope is or where your point of aim is versus the target and make any adjustments necessary. That actually makes a huge difference when it comes to your accuracy. Now, one of the things I thought was pretty cool, and I'd seen this done on another channel, was some real close-up shots of the target. And in some cases you can actually see the pellet coming through the air and impacting the target, which is pretty neat. It goes a little bit into the interesting ballistics of pellets, which I may do another video on that at some point. So the targets I'm using are the Gammo squirrel targets, and I think the kill zone's right about 1.5 inches if I remember correctly. So at 50 yards it's a pretty reasonable target. A lot of times I'll shoot a smaller target. I've actually got one of these Gammo targets that I put a washer on there that reduces it down to 3/4 of an inch. But again, given the wind, and this is typically the size target you're going to see at 50 yards, this just seemed like a good way to go. Now the rain comes in just a little bit, which adds to the whole experience. So you'll notice I take a couple really deep breaths before settling in to take my shot. The reason I do that, so the idea behind the breathing, take 2 really good breaths, deep breaths, and that way you get more oxygen in your bloodstream so that when you pause your breathing, your body doesn't react adversely. Now, when I go to take the shot, I exhale until my lungs are completely relaxed. Now, I'm not trying to push the air out. I'm not trying to hold the air in. I just exhale until the lungs are relaxed, because if you try to hold your breath, your body will actually struggle against that. Anyhow, like I said, this was something new. Thought I'd give it a shot, and I may go ahead and do a couple more of these just to go through my practice sessions. Thanks for watching.